In this video, we will use three most important formulas in Excel, which are very handy in data analysis. First, we will use Vlookup and explain some of its important points. Then we will use Xlookup, and at last we will use Xlookup formula, which can be used instead of both Vlookup and Xlookup. Hey friends, welcome to the channel Data with Hina. If you are one of those people who are struggling on how to find values based on other values in a large set of data without wasting your time and very quickly, then this video is for you. Today we will explore some of built-in formulas in Microsoft Excel in order to do this. So let's dive right in. Here we have a data set about employee, which has almost all details about an employee like employee name, job title, department, business unit, gender, and so on. And the second sheet, we have a simple data set where we have employee name, their annual salary, and the department. But here, if you see, the department column is empty. And here, what we want to do is to find out which employee works in which department. So if we do it manually, we have to go through each one individually. Like here we have the first one, Sophie. We will go into vertical order data sheet. We will go into the employee name column and we will filter it. Then we will have to copy this department value and paste it in here. If you see, it will take a long time to finish all these blank cells. So instead, what we can do is we can use some of the Excel built-in formulas like Vlookup, Xlookup, and Xlookup. In this case, because our data is oriented vertically, if you see here, our data is oriented vertically. We have column headers. We will use Vlookup because in the Vlookup we have the first letter V, which stands for vertical. So what we can do is we will write down Vlookup. Then we have four parameters: lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. The first parameter is lookup value. Lookup value is the value that we want the formula to look it up for us in our dataset. So in here we will have to select employee name. Then we will add a comma. Then we have the second parameter, which is table array. The table array is the data range that the value that is going to be looked up and the value that is going to be returned is placed. And here we will go to vertical order data sheet. We will select this range from employee name till department. We will hold and drag it. And then we will hit the F4 key to fix it. And then we will add a comma. Here, this third parameter is the column index number. Column index number is the number of the column that the value that is going to be returned is placed. Here we have the employee name, job title, and department. We selected these three columns, right? And the column index number, we have to write down 3 because the department is located in the third column. 1, 2, 3. The department is located in the third column, so we will have to write down 3. Then we will add a comma. Then we have the fourth parameter, which is the range lookup. Does it should be approximate match or exact match? What do we want? We want exact match, so we will choose false, which is exact match. Then we will hit enter key. Here you can see that we just found the department that this employee works on. And we can use this fill handle, double click on it to fill it until down. Here we can see that we just found the departments that these employees work on. Now let's talk about some important points to be considered in Vlookup formula. The first one is that whenever we use Vlookup formula, the lookup value must be in the left side of the dataset and the value that is going to be returned must be on the right side of the dataset. The second most important thing is that in Vlookup formula, if you see, we had to select the table array. This must be only one single range of data. We can't select two different range of data. Let me show it practically. We will erase this. We will go to vertical order data sheet, and here we will choose two separate range of data. Here we will choose this one, which is the employee name. Then we will hold the control key and choose this second range, which is the department that we want. Now, If we hit the enter key, we will get an error message which says you have entered too many arguments for this function. That's why we can't use two separate ranges of data in Vlookup formula. We will erase it again and we will go and select the one single range. Here we can use the shift key 2 times right arrow key, then control shift down arrow key. Then we will press the F4 key to fix it and hit the enter key. Here it worked. If you see, we have two null values here. One belongs to Miller Robert and the second belongs to Idly. If we filter it in our data set, here, Miller Robert, we can see that we have Miller Roberts, but we don't have Miller Robert. We have an extra S here. And in the VLOOKUP formula, if you remember, we said in the last parameter that we wanted the exact match. And here we have to choose the approximate match. So what we can do is we will choose approximate match. Here you can see that it worked. And the second one, we also do the same. Here we will choose the approximate match. That were all about VLOOKUP formula. Now let's go to another formula, which is Xlookup. Here, if you see, we have horizontal data. This is the same data that we had in the vertical order data, but this one is oriented horizontally. Whenever our data is oriented horizontally, then we will use Xlookup. We can't use VLOOKUP here. Although this is unlikely, but sometimes it may happen to see datasets like this. So let's go to our next sheet, which is Xlookup. We will use here Xlookup equal Xlookup. These four parameters are same as in VLOOKUP. We have the lookup value, and here we will choose Sophie. Then we will add a comma. Then we have the table array, and here we will have to select the array. Here you can see that we have to select this one. Control shift right arrow key. Press the F4 key to fix it, and then we will add a comma. Then we have the row index number. In which row does our apartment located? First, second, and third. We will write down 3. Then we will add a comma. Then we will choose exact match. Then we will hit enter key. Here. We will fill it till the end of it. That's how Xlookup works. Now here, the most important thing in Xlookup is that the value that is going to be looked up must be in the upper side of the data. Here we have the employee name in the upper side, and the value that is going to be returned must be in the lower side. Here we have the department, which is below the employee name. This is the most important thing in Xlookup to be considered. Okay, now here, one more thing that I want to add. If you see in this formula, we choose the row index number 3, right? If we change it to 1 or 2, what happens? Let's see what happens. We will choose 1, and then hit enter key. You see we have the name of employee. Why is that so? In our horizontal order data we selected the range of employee name till the department. Right? Here if you see, we have the employee name, then job title, then the department. 1, 2, 3. And the row index number, if we write 1, then it will turn the first column value, which is the employee name. If we write down 2, it will return job title. And if we write down 3, it will return the department. What we want is the department. That's why we will write down 3. But what will happen if we write down 4, 5, or something else? Let's try it. Here we will write down like 5. If we hit enter key, it will give us an error reference. It means that we wrote down the wrong reference. We will change it again to tree, hit enter key. That's the department that we wanted. Alright, that was all about the Hlookup formula. Now let's go to Xlookup formula, which is the last one and the most important one. Xlookup is a little different than Vlookup and Hlookup, and it can be used instead of both Vlookup and Hlookup. Here we will write down equal Xlookup. Then we will have like 6 parameters here: lookup value, lookup array, return array, if not found, match mode, and search mode. The first one is lookup value. This is the same as it was in Vlookup and Hlookup. We will have to select this full name, which is the employee name. Then we'll add a comma. Then we have the lookup array and return array. If you remember, we said in the Vlookup and Hlookup that we can't select 2 separate ranges, but in Xlookup we have to select 2 separate ranges. The first range is for lookup array. Lookup array is the column or the row that the value that is going to be looked up is located. So in here we will choose the employee name. Control Shift down key. Press the F4 key to fix it and then add a comma. Then we have the return array. Return array is the column or the row that the value that is going to be returned is located. So in here we want the department, right? So we will choose this. Control Shift down arrow key. And then press F4 to fix it. Now hit the enter key. You can see that we just found the departments that these employees work on. Now the important thing in Xlookup is that you can select 2 separate range of values as long as they are parallel to each other. I mean, you can't choose 2 arrays that are like one is in the upper part and the other is in the lower part. You can't choose it like that. You have to choose 2 ranges that are parallel to each other like this. If you choose those two ranges like this from 1 to 15, then we'll have to choose parallel to it from 1 to 15. We can't choose from like 16 till 13. It will not work. And that's it. We just covered Vlookup, Hlookup, and Xlookup. Here's one more thing. We have 3 optional parameters here in Xlookup that we will cover it in another video. The link is provided up here. You can check it out. And that was all about lookup formulas in Microsoft Excel. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.